don't get so caught up in the details that you lose sight of the plot. And sometimes this tends to happen when we've been in abusive or disrespectful situations. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. A lot of times when we perceive that we have been wronged by someone or disrespected by someone, we're kind of waiting for them to have sort of this come to Jesus moment that they have wronged us and that they should know that they need to come and apologize and beg for mercy, that kind of stuff. And so a lot of people get caught up in the cycle of like just waiting for an apology. And, you know, sometimes an apology is appropriate, but sometimes you have to realize that an apology after a certain stage is not even appropriate anymore. Like there's nothing a person should be able to say or do to come back from the disrespect, if that makes sense. So, you waiting for an apology may be actually inappropriate in and of itself. And so you may, because what you're really waiting for is an opportunity to really reconnect with that person. And an apology seems like a segue to do it. And one of the reasons why I say an apology may not be appropriate anymore, because disrespect can only go but so far and should only go but so far with you. And after a certain point, you should be like, you know what, I don't really have anything to say, or I don't want to have anything to do with this person because they've disrespected me to the point of no return. And I'm sorry just isn't going to cut it for me. And that's okay to say that. Like, you know what? You don't have to forgive everybody. I know that that's like something that's touted on, like, all these popular podcasts. Forgive, and you don't actually have to do that. You can say, you know what, the disrespect is gone so far. I'm letting it go and I'm detaching from you and I'm moving on with my life. But if you allow someone who's disrespected you to no end to say, I'm so sorry, and it's one big mea culpa, then it's just like, okay, then we could pick up where we left off and it's water under the bridge. Or even if not, it just it's not appropriate anymore. So you need to decide where you draw the line and disrespect that people can't come back from. And that's a you thing, that's a nobody else thing. You could certainly pick up and take suggestions from other people, but you have to figure out, like, what is your bottom line. So and I feel like a lot of people have, when they really like someone or when they love someone, they let go of their bottom line. And that bottom line, that goalpost just keeps moving and moving and moving and moving. And that's why family and people that are closest to you can push your buttons the most, because the goalpost is always changing for them and you don't really have a bottom line when it comes to them. And so you want to be careful with accepting an apology, because an apology also too can be a form of manipulation, right? Where people can just say, I'm sorry, just so that they can get back in your good graces and disrespect you even more. And there's a lot of people that get a rise out of, manipulating and hurting you. I mean, they actually get turned on by it physically because they know that it's going to work every time. And so you want to be careful with that. An apology is not always appropriate. It's not always necessary. And sometimes you just need to cut people off and let bygones be bygones, because once you've seen and had enough, that needs to be it. Because an apology can actually be weaponized against you at a later time. I apologize. You let me back in. Now the horns are really going to come out. So be careful with that. I hope that helps. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Give me a follow. Subscribe to my newsletter if you found this helpful. Thanks so much, and talk with you all later.